Well, hello and welcome to my brand new channel, A Girl and Her Reptiles. As you see here, this is my first tank build. This is my first Exo Terra. And what I put inside for my first animal for one of these Exo Terra enclosures, I did not pick a reptile as my first animal. I do have plans on getting leopard geckos as well as a crested gecko, but I decided on a poison dart frog. I did pick a frog out at a local reptile show here in California from the Josh's Frogs booth. I wanted to pick my first animal out that I would put in an Exo Terra in person, and I just happened to get my frog from Josh's Frogs. They do mail order for their frogs, so I recommend that site. They have a prolific learning channel as well as care sheets on any frog that you could possibly desire. They know frogs, let me tell you that. They are a great company to deal with. The orders that I placed went flawlessly, and I can just highly recommend that company if you're considering getting a dart frog. Uh, this this Exoterra is actually in my main guest bathroom. On YouTube, you see all kinds of people putting Exoterras in their bathroom and aquariums in their bathroom, and that usually is a sign that they've run out of space in the rest of their household. This is not the case, guys. This is a case of me not properly measuring my IKEA bookshelf, and so when I got this thing home, it didn't fit. So I had to put it in this main guest bathroom, and it does work for me. There wasn't anything except my aquarium already on the counter, and it works for me, and I'm okay with it. But I will recommend, first and foremost, definitely do your measuring. Make sure that your surface and your piece of furniture that you put this thing on is definitely strong enough. I do not recommend putting these things on plastic type of furniture because it's likely in quite possible that if you put this on a plastic piece of furniture, that plastic piece of furniture is going to crack and may actually crash your beautiful tank. So make sure that the furniture that you put this on is a solid piece. Um, this is the 18 by 18 by 24 inch PetSmart exclusive Buddha version tank. YouTube has played a definite role in me not only selecting this tank but also the animal inside. If you want to learn more about, a lot about dart frogs, definitely Josh's Frogs website for sure. But just watching other people's YouTube channels, I got enough information and did enough research to know what animal was right for me at this specific time. And I chose the dart frog simply because I wanted to kind of segue into learning how to handle insects and bugs. These guys, they eat fruit flies that are dusted with Rapashi calcium plus, and basically you have to make a fruit fly culture every week. So just getting used to the bugs, because they get bigger, guys, after that. When you start dealing with crested geckos and leopard geckos, you have to deal with crickets and slimy worms and dubia roaches and things like that. So I wanted to kind of just I don't know, just get used to handling bugs first before I went on to a more an animal that requires more feeding. Now I can see my frog back there in the back. I'm not sure you can. He is in his soaking dish. But starting at the bottom, there is a bioactive substrate. When you have a frog, you're going to need a bioactive substrate. I fell for another online retailer's substrate material, and it was just pretty much junk, really, guys. So get your substrate from Josh's Frogs. Had to amend it with Eco Earth, and it was just kind of a nightmare. So learn from my mistakes and get that substrate from Josh's Frogs. In the middle, there is a combination of live and fake plants. I'll try to get my frog in here. Live and fake plants. I have a topiary up here that is from an old Target plant, but you can get these things from Ross and Marshall's. The whole tank really got its design from this beautiful pink bromeliad here, and I just carried the pink theme forward. The tank just evolved from that one plant. And sometimes that happens, when you're creating something, it evolves from something else. I do my rooms in my household that way, and sometimes a room gets its design from just a picture or just a pillow, you know. So that's how this tank got its design and how it evolved from this pink bromeliad here. I did pick all of my plants at Lowe's Indoor Garden Center. You definitely want to pick wide leaf plants for your frogs because as they get bigger, they will trample delicate plants. I can't keep orchids alive, so I got these beautiful orchid stems from Hobby Lobby. There's a fake IKEA plant down here that I put some sphagnum moss in. I got some of this beautiful chartreuse colored moss here at Ross, of all places. I just liked how it added a brilliant bright color to my tank. On the side here is a cocoa hut, as well as another pink hued type live plant. I have no idea the names of these plants. He wasn't using this corner, guys, so I put I took an old plant with a pothos leaf, a fake one, and put it here just to add more security for him. When you're creating an enclosure for an animal that's inside, you want to look at it from the perspective from the animal's point of view. I think that will help you make the decision to have a larger, spacious tank for your animal. This guy's going to live to be 10 to 15 years old, so I want to have his home be as comfortable for him as possible. There's only one frog in here, guys, and that's all I plan to get. Going towards the top of the tank, there's an Exo Terra Monsoon Solo. I did have to go out and spend $30 on an extra nozzle and more tubing. Exo Terra really cheaped out and did not include two nozzles with the Monsoon Solo and did not include enough tubing. That was very disappointing. Also, I did buy a soaking dish. It's called the Groovy Lagoon. I got it at Petco. You want to provide a soaking dish with spring water in it for your frog. They do absorb water through their body, so that is very, very essential. I got the jade color of the Groovy Lagoon because it matched the large rocks here that I got at Armstrong's Nursery and Garden Center. I just like the look of the rocks. And back there's more rocks back there, and he enjoys bouncing from rock to rock and catching his fruit flies on smooth surfaces. There's a manzanita branch in here as well as some mossy vine that I wrapped throughout the tank just to give it more dimension. I did get glass cut and it's 1/8 inch thick and $5 for each piece. I purchased the Exo Terra canopy top and quickly learned that I didn't like it. It has only one switch, guys. I don't think that Exo Terra has a product development team or a product review team that actually uses their products because when we're putting together these Exo Terras, we want options. It would have been nice to have one bulb on and one bulb off, or a daylight bulb in one socket and night light bulb in the second socket. So, Exo Terra, if you're listening, I would love to be part of your product development team that actually uses your product so that you can get true and real input from those of us that use and utilize your products. It's a shame because because these things are quite expensive, and not to include a second 50-cent switch is absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. I like the gray background. It's different than the rock background, so that's why I selected it. The little Buddha just reminds me of something that I would see in an Indiana Jones movie. So that's why I picked this tank. This tank is featured on a couple of other YouTube channels as well if you want to check it out. Also, when you have temp and humidity sensitive animals, you're going to need gauges and multiple gauges. It's hard to find a gauge that is really accurate. So if you guys can comment below and let me know whether or not you found an exceptional temp and humidity gauge, I'd really like to know about it. This is my second go around with this Vivarium Electronics one. Don't buy it. It's a piece of junk. The temp is right on, but the humidity is way, way off. It's more like 80% in my tank, just because I know it's exceptionally wet in here. Going towards the back, there is a night light, an Exo Terra basking light fixture. Again, I like it, but it would have been nice if it would the stem on it was longer so it could go higher up from the top of the tank. I have a cheap Walmart nightlight in there that shines down on the Buddha at night in the early evening hours, and then I turn all the lights off when we're ready to go to bed. I'm trying to see if my frog is... He's not ready to be photogenic right now. And finally, I did purchase the lights that are in the Exo Terra canopy top are the Dark Frog Connection 60 LED 13 watts. It would be perfect if you just wanted to do a terrarium and not have any animals inside. That would be perfect. It really makes my tank look stunning. But my frog is not digging the brightness of the LEDs, so I do not recommend these very expensive bulbs. They were $35 a piece. Don't buy them if you're going to keep an animal in one of these Exo Terra enclosures. They're just too bright for their eyes. When you're creating a enclosure for your animal, you want it to be as comfortable as possible. I am always going to recommend that you pick the larger size tank for your animal. Animals can probably survive in smaller size tanks, but my goal is for my animals to thrive. This guy is in an 18 by 18 by 24, and he uses most of this tank, believe it or not. If I had to do it all over again and get the gray background with the Buddha on it, I probably would have gone one size smaller for the 18-inch cube. But the 24 really just adds to the beauty of my main guest bathroom, and I'm not upset at all that I bought a little bit larger enclosure for this frog. He's super spoiled, and that's just how I treat all of my animals. This is not a animal that you can take out and pet and handle. It's an animal for viewing purposes only. So why not make the box, the little jungle in the box, bigger? That pretty much completes my tour for you today. I'm going to try to run this channel as ethically as possible. I'm not one of those that has excess animals or going to have excess animals just to get YouTube subscribers. I really want to, help you make tank size decisions, help you along the way to design your tank and give you some ideas by watching my videos and also learning from my mistakes. I plan on having some haul videos, product haul review videos, and also, items that I have regretted purchasing so that you guys can save money and not waste your time on some of these products. I'm really happy with this tank and I hope it gives you some ideas. Please like and subscribe. Bye for now.